upon a time in a small and deserted village where darkness prevailed and silence prevailed in the deserted streets. There is no one living in this village after its residents abandoned it due to terrifying and mysterious events. It is said that there is a ghost that roams the village at night, making terrifying noises and terrifying those who dare to approach it. One dark night, a group of brave adventurers decided to explore the abandoned village and find out the truth about the terrifying legend. There was Michael, the brave and adventurous young man who was not afraid of anything. Sarah, the smart and daring girl who loved solving mysteries, and John, the cautious person who relied on his strong intuition. They entered the village in eerie silence, and when they reached the main square, they heard strange noises emanating from the depths of the dark alleys. They decided to follow the sounds and find out where they came from. As they moved forward, they felt a bitter cold seeping into their bodies, as if a supernatural force was trying to suck their lives out. They arrive at an old, abandoned house, which appears to have been inhabited in the past. The windows were broken and the walls were covered in insects and arachnids. They entered the house cautiously, and when they reached the top floor, they were shocked by a terrible sight. There was a dark room lit by intermittent light, where a white-robed ghost was floating in the air. His eyes were red, and his face was horribly disfigured. They jumped behind the broken furniture in a desperate attempt to seek protection. Suddenly, the ghost started making terrifying sounds and quickly moved towards them. They were surrounded by complete darkness, screaming in panic. They tried to escape, but the doors and windows were tightly closed. They were trapped in this terrifying nightmare. But suddenly, Sarah noticed a mysterious symbol engraved on the ghost's wall. She decides to try to solve the mystery behind the symbol. Perhaps it is the key to escaping this terrifying nightmare. Using her intelligence and experience in solving puzzles, Sarah began to crack the code. It included strange patterns and mysterious symbols. After a few minutes of concentration, Sarah cracked the code and opened the way to the exit. They escaped from the abandoned house and ran through the dark streets, trying to reach the main exit of the village. But the ghost did not give up and began chasing them at breakneck speed.
As time passed, they decided to turn on Ghost. They stopped in a wide square and formed a circle around him. And as the ghost approached, blazing flames spread from their hands, and they began a mysterious and powerful dance that defied the ghost's power. The dance turned into an ancient ritual, and the ground began to shake, and the trees moved strangely. In a moment of light and darkness, they merged together and released their unified energy to defeat the ghost. The darkness disappeared, and the village regained its vitality. The residents returned and regained their homes. There was no longer any trace of the terrifying ghost. Thanks to the courage and intelligence of these adventurers, the village became a safe place again. Thus, the terrifying story ended with success and the victory of good over evil. Residents always remember the day these brave heroes crossed to become part of the village's legend and its sacred spirit. After defeating the ghost, his evil form faded and he completely disappeared. No trace of him remains in the abandoned village. Calm and tranquility were restored in the place, and life returned to normal. In the following days, people shared stories about the ghost's defeat. The heroic story of these fighting adventurers became the talk of the town. The residents celebrated their bravery and thanked them for freeing the village from the terror of the ghost. The abandoned house that housed the ghost has turned into a place where people feel frightened and mysterious. No one dared to enter it anymore, and people told stories about spirits and ghosts that might live inside. Over time, a new village was built on the remains of the abandoned village. New generations of residents live there, and children are told horrific stories about the defeated ghost. As a reminder of the terrifying events they witnessed, a memorial statue to the three adventurers has been erected in the village's main square as a tribute to their courage and sacrifice. Visitors come from far and wide to see this statue and hear their brave story. In the end, the terrifying ghost story ended successfully, and the village regained its calm and tranquility. However, the ghost remains a topic of conversation and narratives in generations to come, as its terrifying influence on people's imaginations continues.